Hey, what's up? Welcome. That's not even my intro. Take two. Hey, what's up? I'm Pascal from Orangepixel. My head is everywhere. Welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about Regulated City because I know I fixed the problems I had with the game design and the game being interesting, enjoyable for a lot of people who tested it, just not at the level that you would actually dive back into it again and do another run and try again and replay, and all that stuff was missing. And it was a little bit of a hard thing to fix, but after the intro, I'm going to explain what I did and how I actually managed to fix it. Okay, so Regulated City, I had a little bit of an issue, been talking about that for like many months on the channel. I had it in GameRound.co, the website that actually allows you to have the game tested or played by a lot of people, and they'll give feedback. A lot of that feedback is very low quality, but there's always some good feedback in there and actual players. So based on that feedback, it was pretty much very clear that people enjoyed the game, most of them. If they didn't like it, it's not a game for everybody, so that's understandable. But those that liked the game said they liked it, but wouldn't play it again. That was kind of the feeling I had myself as well. When I was playtesting the game, it was fun to play, but after a couple of missions, I've seen it, I've done it, something's missing. And I didn't really have an idea where that problem came from. So in December, I started working on Space Grunt 3. I did that for a couple of weeks, a new game I'm tinkering with. It's very early prototype stages. In January, I worked on Gauntlet of Power and wrapped that game almost up to a release. Still some minor stuff that needs to be done, but it's playable. It has a lot of content, metagame. There's a lot of that stuff in there. It's done. So for well over a month, I haven't looked at Regulated City. A couple of weeks ago, I started looking at the game and I had to fix this issue. So honestly, the game has been in development for so long. I'm pretty sure a lot of you, and actually some of you talked to me and mentioned it to me, you figured I should have quit working on this game a long time ago or just release it as is and move on and forget about it. I couldn't. There's something in this game and I wanted to get that out of it. So I needed to figure out what was wrong. First thing I did was playtesting. Just not started working on the game, just booted up the game. No debug mode, which is my pitfall many times. I play my games with debug and then I see something that needs tweaking. I'll quickly pause, change the code and continue with those fixes. That's not the point. I needed to have a full test. So I actually did it on the Steam Deck. Couldn't code, couldn't program, couldn't do anything. Just play the game and figure out what the issue was. Been playing a lot of Lego games. What does that have to do with it? A lot of Lego games together with Aline, my wife. We've been playing through a bunch of them and currently doing Lego Marvel Heroes. There's a lot of inspiration coming from that now. A lot of metagame structures, getting to that point later on. But the first thing that I noticed was the levels were longer. There was more to do. My missions were too short in Regulated City. The maps are there, but they were too short. It was like 1-2 minutes and then you would have done the mission and you would move on to the next with all the stuff happening in between. It just felt like a grind. So actually making the maps longer was the first thing I wanted to do. More rooms, more environment, more areas, more stuff. Not hop in a mission, hop out of a mission, hop into a mission. Just give it more time, give the player more time to actually get to understand the mission. You're in a building, this is what you're doing now. Forget about everything else. Concentrate on this for a couple of minutes and then we'll get back to the rest again. So the missions had to be longer, the maps had to be longer. So I've been tweaking all the existing maps and started working on a bunch of new maps as well because I'm still not done on those. I want more. Also getting to that point in a minute. And that was the first thing I needed to change. Bigger maps. But you can't make bigger maps without actually having enough content for that. So the next thing I had to do is come up with more content, more variation for the player to do. Here is a lot of inspiration coming from the Lego games. I started adding ventilation shafts that pretty much allow only you as the team leader to go through that ventilation and end up in another room where you have to do something before your team can continue. It also means you're splitting up, or I'm as a level designer, splitting up the player from his team. So here I am giving you this whole team, the whole premise of the game. You run around as a shooter, but you have your team around you. And now I'm splitting you up from the team, kind of changing up the things and the factors and the gameplay elements and hopefully you'll still be able to survive that. So ventilation shafts got added. I added lasers guarding certain areas, and again only you can pass through those lasers, but for that you need to find something that allows you to pass through those lasers. I started adding fires everywhere and a fire extinguisher as a item, so now you can actually extinguish that fire before your whole team and you can pass. So you need to find something and then put out that stuff. There's just a bunch of things that are little distractions from just the shooting at enemies, and it helps a lot. These changes, I've been adding them over the course of 1 or 2 weeks. It just made a lot of difference to the gameplay. Now, to get all these things in the game, I also needed to spend some time on my level editor. I'm using my built-in level editor for this game, and I'm using that instead of a standard tile map editor, because I have all these little changes and tweaks and things that are very game specific. And by using this built-in level editor, all these things can be coded and programmed and automatically happen. So linking keycards to doors, you can have like 3 keycards opening one door. Only one of those keycards will spawn based on stuff I put in the tile map, or as a level editor, whatever I put in there. One of these will spawn. Same with ventilation shaft. This will be your goal, but you can have the entry point to that in different areas, and the game will actually pick one of those. This will actually make every map still interesting, and you still have to find where these things are, the entry points. And it needed a lot of work on the level editor, but it's been a lot of fun working on that and seeing those improvements. The editor is now becoming at a level that it's almost user-friendly, so I might be able to actually release it in the final game on PC. I'm not sure we're going to do that on console or even mobile, but PC version might have this built-in level editor. We'll see how that works out. Also, a lot of editing on the maps. Existing maps needed all these extra rooms and needed secret rooms and hidden rooms to hide some meta game functionality, features, structure, items, objects, whatever you want to call it, because I've been adding meta game things as well, enhancing the gameplay even more, and now it actually feels like an almost completed game that just needs a lot of content and is far from completed. But the gameplay, the game design and everything around it, it's on track. We're there. I'm very confident about it. Like a lot. Very confident. So what are these meta games, Pascal? Tell us about them. I know you want to know. Alright, so a few weeks ago in Gauntlet of Power I introduced the Janitor. Cool guy, looks a little bit like me. That's just by accident. He is the janitor in Gauntlet of Power, sweeping up the dungeon blood and bones on you. Every now and then you'll encounter him and he has some wisdom for you and maybe an item here and there. He's going to be popping up in more of my games. Regulated City now has the Janitor. You need to find him. It's been a crazy city. Regulated City is just full of crazy alien mutant oozy thingies happening everywhere. So the Janitor was kind of hiding in locations and places, and you'll have to find him in every level. If you find him, he will give you a piece of clothing. That clothing, if you have all the clothing, will unlock a new character that's playable. I'm gonna probably release the game with 2 playable characters, and then there are 5 in total. So that's a lot of clothing you'll be searching. But if you find all that clothing or all the janitors, you'll unlock new characters. That's meta game. That's one. The other meta game is not, it's part of the game, and that's finding a weapon. Every mission will have a hidden weapon. You need to find that weapon to unlock it. If you unlock it, it will be available in your headquarters, the hub of the game, where you can actually mount it as your default weapon instead of the crappy one that you got from the start. So in this way you can actually find new weapons, and it will be available in the HQ, same as your character clothing. I might actually have like a clothing cabinet there that you can see where the clothing comes, and that's actually giving the HQ more purpose as well. Finally, HQ has a DNA pod. It's always been there. The old way was having a DNA key allowed you to go to the DNA pod, upgrade yourself by giving you more default health points and maybe other things. Now you actually need to find an X amount of DNA pod kits in each mission. So let's say there are like 3, maybe 4 kits hidden in a mission. If you find them all, you can go back to HQ after the mission and actually upgrade yourself for the next mission, which in turn is another metagame thingy that find these things, improve yourself and make it easier for yourself in the next level. These kits are actually, most of them are hidden by the level designer. Right now that's me. I actually make certain areas that you need to find, like you need to smash a lot of stuff. Haven't talked about that. There's so much going on in my head for this game. Smashing stuff was always available in the game. You could smash things, but most of them would take like a lot of time to break and go into debris and dust and be gone. That's really no fun, because smashing stuff in games is a lot of fun. So I made it a lot easier. Now most things take like maybe 4 or 5 hits and it's gone. A good explosion will like destroy a whole room. You can clear out a whole room of stuff. It has no purpose except that it's a lot of fun to destroy stuff and just have that powerful feeling of being able to destroy stuff. However, in this case, you can also, by destroying stuff, uncover like ventilation shafts that will bring you to a secret area where you can find a door switch or another thingy that opens another room area thingy where a DNA cat is hiding. You collect it, you found 1 out of 3, need 2 more, smash more stuff, find it. Don't forget about your main mission. You still have to do something in these buildings. That hasn't changed. You still need to detonate the building or targeted kills or find intelligence stuff or crack a safe. Those things are still in. That's the main mission. But there's a lot more stuff going on now that you can really dig into. Is my excitement a little bit too much in this video? I'm excited about Regulated City. Haven't been it for a long time, but I am now there. The game is there. The gameplay is there. The game is there. And there's one more metagame thing I'm gonna be adding. I'm probably gonna do that after editing the video or maybe tomorrow. Golden wrenches. So in Gauntlet of Power I started adding runes that you can find and unlock with certain things, putting them on the support game wiki page, whatever I call it, on the website. Runes can be unlocked in Gauntlet of Power by either killing 50 skulls or doing a certain thing in a certain room at a certain time, stuff like that. Unlocking runes means unlocking cheat features, and this is something from the Lego games, and these games are full of so many little tiny interesting things. It's very difficult for me to understand why that company went bankrupt or went broke or stopped making games, couldn't make more. Probably a licensing thing, because they had to license all these superheroes, all these movies and all that stuff. But the games are full of so many interesting little meta game thingies. And anyway, this idea comes from them. Runes in Gauntlet of Power allow you to unlock cheat codes. You can activate them or not, but it will allow players that aren't as good at the game, to slowly kind of maybe cheat their way, at least to see the full game or the ending, or unlock more stuff or learn more and get better at it. I'm gonna do that in Regulated City as well. Gold wrenches. Haven't figured out how to obtain all of them yet. Probably again by completing X amount of missions or X amount of kills, or maybe find X amount of janitors, or play the game for 10 hours, whatever. We're gonna figure out, we're gonna come up with interesting, weird statistics and data to unlock these golden wrenches, and they will give you little features like start a game with double HP. So instead of 6 or 7 health points, you get like 14, 15, 16, whatever, maybe triple HP. Start with a double amount of ammo for your base weapons. That's a feature we're gonna add, so it's gonna be a lot easier or a lot harder to shoot your ammo or shoot all your ammo, and little tweaks and things like that will be added to the game, and it will allow people to get further in the game, and there will be no excuse not to finish the game. That's at least what I'm hoping for. As I get older, I'm getting milder or weaker for my players, and I used to create extremely hard and difficult games, and that's a lot of fun. But let's do it a little bit different these days, and Regulated City is going to be completable by everybody. And of course, if you complete it, the next game is going to be completely different because it's procedural, so there's hopefully going to be a lot of replayability in the game. I think I rambled through everything I wanted to say. Yeah, there's just so many things I've been working on in this game, and it's such a joy and a relief. That's probably the best word. It's such a relief to finally have this game on tracks. And I think I mentioned that before, but it wasn't really there, but now it's 100% there. There's just so many ideas flowing at me, and there's still a lot of stuff that need to be done. Like I need to create a lot more missions, but I'm gonna do that in between working on the other games, because I've been working on all the existing maps for the last couple of days, and it's tiring just to focus on creating maps. If anybody wants to have a shot at it, let me know. Maybe we're gonna do some sort of map contest. I'm not sure, but it takes a little bit of understanding what makes a good map. But now that we have all these extra features to implement and add, it's a lot more interesting. And I'm gonna try to come up with more features so that these maps are even more interesting before I create all of those maps. That needs to be done. I need to come up with more weapons. Right now I think we have like 4 or 5 different guns. I need at least 8, maybe 10, but preferably more. Some of those will be very easy, like you have the default weapon, then we're gonna have the default weapon Mark II, which will just have more ammo, maybe shoot a little bit faster. So it's gonna be easy to make little adjustments, but I also want completely different weapons in there as well, like a homing missile shooting, grenade launching type thingy, a laser beam destroy all stuff. I probably have to sit down and come up with actual good ideas before I start implementing them, but that has to be done. And then I'm probably forgetting things left and right that need to be done, but we're getting close to wrapping this up, which means that I'll have 2 games almost wrapped up, working on the 3rd game, Space Grunt 3. Can't wait to dive back into that one, but first this week probably more Regulated City, next week hopefully Space Grunt 3, because I need to get that going a little bit more as well, and then I can breathe again. Maybe I should do that now as well. So thanks for watching this video. Like, subscribe, comment below, hop on the Discord, check out the website, do whatever you want to do. Don't click on weird links on the Discord, because there's been a lot of hijacking and viruses going on, and I've seen a lot of developers get caught by it. Don't just click on links, even if it's on like an official channel on a Discord server, because people have been getting hacked and then posted on their news server channel, and then a lot of people just blindly clicked on it, and it's been messy. So be safe out there, but mostly just enjoy yourself, and see you next week. Bye.